But if you're not having a good life, you need to do something about that, right? And I've seen that a lot of times people wait a lot. They don't take action because something is holding them back. So in my understanding, it is, if you are dissatisfied, work on it. Do something about it. Do something about it. I'm sure you can figure out. Again, also not underestimating those rejections, right? Don't take it personally, but also go back and learn from it.
Yeah.
I've learned from every rejection. I go back, reflect and say, okay, what could have been different from my side? Because I can't control the other side. So these are some of the learnings, and you still learn. What coaching has helped me do is pick up one goal at a time.
Okay.
And figure out, because there are a lot of mess inside us. We have baggage, we have complaints, we have fears, we have we are keeping ourselves small.
Welcome to Let's Talk Clarity podcast with Rakesh Mathuria. और आज एक स्पेशल एपिसोड है. We have reached to 75th episode. Yes, I started this journey is May 21, 30 months back. And I have never thought that I will reach to this episode. And to celebrate this episode, I am interviewing my mentor, Jaya Bhateja. She is a senior master coach. And in this episode, we discuss about the details of coaching, the details of executive coaching, and how an executive can experience this executive coaching process. And before that, we discuss about her journey from a corporate career to executive coaching, from an employee to employer. And at the last, do you know what is the one advice for every coach in this world? So I asked this question to Jaya, and she answered it beautifully. So for that answer, you have to listen to the full episode. Without further ado, let's start the episode. Welcome to Let's Talk Clarity podcast, and today we are having a special guest, my mentor, Jaya Bhateja. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rakesh, for inviting me.
So Jaya is a master coaching trainer, and she's having a company called Abhyudaya Global Coach Circle. From there, I learned my executive coaching skills, and from her, after seeing her, I can only see one sentence, that is serving humanity. Jaya, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rakesh. Thank you. It's a fortune to meet you in this life.
Thank you. So let's start with the basic question that why coaching and how it came into your life.
Why coaching? I think coaching found me,
Okay.
and then I actually, we just developed a relationship. I was going through a general life wherein you work in a corporate, you want brands to be attached to you, you want profiles to be nicely decorated with good experience and all that. And then in that, I think my childhood context played, and I was constantly feeling that I'm not happy, it's not what I want to do. And through several conversations, I kind of came to a conclusion that I want to do something more transformational, where it can change something, right? Where it can touch people's life, change perspective, people feel that you've made a difference to them, right? So going through the corporate career, I think there came a place where everything was in mess.
Okay.
Everything, like whichever piece of life you pick up, health, marriage, motherhood, job, career, everything was in mess. And I'm like, what do? I don't know. I actually exhausted all my ideas to figure out things. And then I actually spoke to my manager one day. I said, I want to do more transformational work. I thought going to training and development will give me that opportunity, but what I'm realizing is the more and more training I do, nobody remembers what I trained, right? So it's not about they remembering me, it's about they taking action, right? It's about that it should make a difference. It should not be just, So then she said, I'm doing a coaching course and you can try. I don't know, it'll work for you, not work for you, I don't know, so you can try. So when I started learning coaching, I think that was a turning point for me. That's when I started applying everything that I was learning, because I came with a blank slate to say, I don't know what coaching is. I said, okay, let's, and it was not about testing coaching, it was more about, let me sort out my life.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. From there it started.
Yeah, that's where it started. And when I saw in a year or two, my life started changing because I changed my mindset and a lot of things. That's how coaching happened. And then it was a clear proof that this is working for me. And then kind of it gave me that space that okay, this is the place I can make a difference. And it aligned to a lot of my strengths. I got to know about myself so much. So long story short, that's how coaching happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from your answer, I can just feel that there was a lack of fulfillment
Yes.
in corporate. So how one can find fulfillment in job?
Difficult question. I think first of all you have to feel extremely dissatisfied to work on this journey, right? Because if we are half dissatisfied, half satisfied, confused, then this journey doesn't start, because you need to go through various unfulfilled experiences to start. So I think first of all accepting that you're not happy, accepting that this is not what you want, because I totally believe that careers should be enjoyed. Mm-hmm. We study, our parents invested time and money in our education so that we can have a good life. But if you're not having a good life, you need to do something about that, right? And I've seen that a lot of times people wait a lot. They don't take action because something is holding them back. So in my understanding, it is, if you are dissatisfied, work on it. Do something about it. Do something about it. I'm sure you can figure out. Everybody can figure out. If you can't figure out, you have so many coaches around. Take care.
Yes, we are there.
Yeah. That's the whole idea. Careers have to be enjoyed. Because that's what you studied for. That's why you're earning. That's why you have everything available in this life to be enjoyed.
So what is the process? Means if someone is just feeling dissatisfied and just starting some coaching. So what is the process? If you can take us through how you started that conversion from job to entrepreneurship, or from job to coaching. So means how was that process? Because transformation is always messy.
It is messy, and there is no linear answer to that. There is no step by step. I think it is very, you have to parallelly work on a lot of things together. And when I was going through that process, I didn't know I'm going through that process, right? So it's like that. What coaching has helped me do is pick up one goal at a time.
Okay.
And figure out, because there are a lot of mess inside us. We have baggage, we have complaints, we have fears, we have, we are keeping ourselves small in the whole.
A lot of areas.
Yeah. So then pick up one, which is the most painful. And when you work with a coach, that's what they tell you, right? What's the one thing you want to work on? Because psychologically, you will automatically pick something which pains a lot. That's how humans are. Yes. We don't work on things which still have more pain to be created. So that's how we are. So pick one thing at a time. The problem happens that we have an expectation to solve everything together. That doesn't work out.
Yes.
And that's how my journey has been. 2010 when I started coaching, one thing at a time. And then you start seeing that it has a ripple effect. Other things also starts getting sorted, because actually most of the things are to do with your own thinking, mindset, your baggage. So I was full of baggage. I had to drop that one by one, and it takes time. So there's no linear journey to that. The best way is focus on one thing at a time.
One thing.
If you're dissatisfied with your boss, let's have a conversation on that. If you're dissatisfied in your marriage, let's have a conversation on that. If you're dissatisfied as a parent, let's talk about it. And everything is connected. The problem also happens when we think that no, this is personal, this is professional. No, it doesn't work like that. It's all connected. It's a noodle box, as I say a lot of times.
Yeah. We as a person are one.
Yeah, we are one, and everything is inside. It it is very easy to see what's outside and say, hey, the boss was bad and the whatever, right? Putting blame outside is how we have learned. But if you ask me for a plan, there is no straightforward plan. You have to first pick up Wheel of Life. That's how I went. I picked up my Wheel of Life. I've actually rated my satisfaction level. I picked up one thing at a time. And I did that. I wrote down my strengths a lot of time. What am I? Because I used to hear in trainings that work on your strength, work on your strength.
Yeah.
What does it mean to work on your strength? Really happens when you know your strengths. Lot of time in the journey you learn what are your strengths, right? So work with what you have and work on one thing at a time. That's my advice to everybody who's looking at.
So from here, I was just remembering my school days when there was 5-6 subjects. And someone, or even I'm good in maths. I'm scoring 90 above.
Yeah.
But other people used to say, work on other subjects.
On
weaknesses.
Yes.
Take tuitions on other subjects.
Yeah.
But from here, I'm just listening or understanding that I should work more on maths. Be a master of maths.
Be a master of maths, yeah. So that's a very interesting point that you're saying, because a lot of times you have to detach from what's not in you, right? We spend a lot of time building what's not in me.
Not in me, yes.
Right? So you have to really accept some facts. This is not in me, and neither I'm interested to develop that, right? Because it's such a hard work to work on something that is not in you. Right. So I realized some point in time that, hey, while you're trying so hard to make a career in corporates, you don't have it in you. So let's try something else. So accepting those things are difficult, right? Accepting those things are extremely difficult, because we keep thinking that, oh, maybe I'm putting myself small. Oh, maybe I'm underestimating. Maybe I can just learn. I can manage. Others are managing. So you keep debating within yourself about that, right? So my real revelation was about detaching few things that I'm not, and working on things that I am.
It is just like that. If you say Sachin Tendulkar, start working on your bowling. He's a batsman.
Yeah. That's what the world teaches us, right? The world teaches us to work on the gaps. First of all, the whole method of development itself is a little difficult, wherein we start with analyzing, then we analyze the gaps, and then we start working on the gaps. But actually what happens in that game is that you are not even practicing your strengths. You're wasting time. So what if you can work on your strengths in a way that you can overshadow your gaps? Which is also doesn't mean that you ignore your gaps, right? There are some gaps that are identified which are not in you. That's not you, who you are as a human, right? So accept. I found this journey more easy to identify the strengths and multiplying that. And then and in that journey also, while working on your strength, also there are times when you have to still work on yourself. Right? For example, when I started working as an entrepreneur, I realized I'm not a very organized person. But if I have to run my business, I have to be. So I pushed myself there. So there was a gap there also. Right? I pushed myself. I still stumble at times. But then there were a lot of gaps in that journey as well. But if I'm trying to fit too much into an environment where I know my basics are not there, my value system doesn't align to that kind of stuff, then I think I'm just putting myself for failure.
So you have just discussed about entrepreneurship. So let us take us through what was the process from job to entrepreneurship, from a monthly salary to yearly accounting. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, again, I think a lot of acceptance, right? You have to accept that there will be a time when there'll be no amount hitting your account, right?
Yes.
Now, accepting that and really facing that are two different things, right? Well, you first cognitively accept that this will happen, and then you go through the process. And then for me, there was a year when there was no billing, so going through that was not easy. I think that's where the thing is. A lot of people avoid those experiences. But that was a year which taught me so much about what I'm doing right and what I need to change, or what am I doing wrong. I realized, so I sat and analyzed my year as to where did I spend my time, what did I do, whom did I meet, what kind of people did I hang out with. And that was a lot of learning. That gave me a lot of insight about what I shouldn't be doing, what I should be doing. That also created a base of, hey, listen, you're focusing on the wrong things, right? So entrepreneurship is, E of entrepreneurship is experiment, right? You have to experiment.
Keep on experimenting.
Keep trying. You have to keep trying. It's like being in the kitchen, right? You tried a dish, it didn't go well. Don't give up. Try again.
Yes.
Try again. You sit and reflect as to, what could have been this thing. And then reflection has been a very important tool for me throughout I used to spend a lot of time thinking.
So what do you do for reflection?
I just analyze.
As per my what I do, I write journals.
Yeah.
Because without my diary, I cannot move. It's still there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you do?
I'm good at cognitive reflection. Again, we have to recognize what I'm good at, right? So I used to write journals. I still have my pile of journals, but it was more around reflecting back as to what happened. So I used to write as well as think. But thinking was much more than writing for me. So if I'm, let's say, I used to analyze I still do that. I analyze my day. I'll analyze myself as an observer to see how did I come across, how did I show up. And then when I started doing that, I automatically developed ability where something goes wrong, I'll exactly at that moment know, right? And now I have developed the ability to stop myself to do those things. It doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. I still make mistakes, but I don't make those same mistakes. Right? So a lot of learning happens about you, because the whole entrepreneurship is about learning about yourself. Right? You sit, you think, you say, how did the day go? How did that interaction go? I think I shouldn't have said that. I think I should have said this. I think I could have done this more. So those cognitive conversations have been extremely helpful.
So how you did your first sale in this coaching journey? Because sale is always a difficult part. We coaches do a lot of coaching. We do a lot of marketing. We were there in LinkedIn, WhatsApp or Instagram. We do everything except sales. So how you did your first sales and how that went and then gradually how you learned your sales?
So see, my journey has taught me that you have to keep trying. Like the first sale is not the first attempt. It may come after several attempts, right? So basic questions, putting it on slides, saying what are you doing, why are you doing, what are you offering and all that. And obviously when you start, it's very vague. You yourself get clarity slowly. So I used to do that. I used to reach out to different individuals. I was not sure if I want to coach individuals or only corporates. So those decisions come on the way, right? You learn about it. And the first sale happened through a conversation, through a reference. Somebody was kind enough to refer me, and I was in a very beginning of my journey. So I also learned that a lot of sale happens through relationships. Right? It is not that much about the process. You definitely have to be clear about what do you want to offer and why. So the word sale is also very it creates a lot of disturbance in the mind, because you always and obviously, like anybody, you're always in a denial. No, I'm not selling anything.
Don't be salesy.
Don't be salesy. And these words, actually, I've seen there was one coaching session when I realized that my relationship with the word sale is not great. Right? Because the moment somebody said, what are you selling? You start thinking like you're a vendor. and that screws up everything, right? And that's what I had to change and say, you're offering, you're not selling. You are offering your time. Another thing happens is when we start as coaches, we think that the other person is doing a favor to me by giving a business.
Yes.
Because by that time, because you're starting, you don't value your expertise and your time and your intention to be in this world to support. You underestimate those things, right? We take ourselves for granted. So you always think, why will that person give me business?
Yes.
We don't ask enough questions around why will they not give you, or what are you offering it? How can you support them, and how can they can get benefited? And then, as I was mentioning, that sales is not a decision that is totally dependent on my expertise. I can be very expert, and another person may not be ready to work with me, or maybe not looking for what I'm offering, right? It's like marriage, let's say. It is always both the people are making a decision that we click, but that doesn't mean you're bad or you're not enough. Yes, you can improve. You can always improve. You can work upon it. You can work on your proposition. You can gain more clarity.
Here one more question comes. How to handle rejection?
Rejection can almost paralyze us, right? So for a long time, the words like sales and rejection used to bring a lot of anxiety. You will sit alone, think, what's wrong with me? Have I taken a wrong decision? Was it right to leave the job? All these things come into your mind. And then obviously at times external environment can support you or may not support you with whatever conversations they bring to you. So I think one of my own coaching session made me learn that you're taking rejection too personally. Because actually it is not about me only. I'm offering what I'm offering, but the other person should be ready to take that, right? So then there is a price conversation, there is readiness from their side, there is biases from their side, there is biases from my side. And then I really decided that, hey, listen, it is about you. Try to do your best and don't worry about the outcome. So from that time, I think a lot of things changed. The way I was showing up to my potential clients. I will always prepare enough to say, okay, I'll do my best. Rest is their choice. Right? So a lot of times people say, oh, you don't smile enough, or they have a judgment around that too.
Yes.
Right? Or you smile too much, there's a judgment around that too. And there will be a judgment around you. Don't speak enough, so I'm not sure if you are confident about what you're offering. I'm like, I don't speak much anyway. Right? So you can take some sample coaching conversations with me, that's all I can do. Right? So there are different personalities in the world, but then we have a frame to judge people when we are doing business, when we are making relationships, when we're meeting. Problem happens is that we are too stuck to our own frame, right? So we don't at times give opportunity, and especially if you're going to a corporate and they're the one who needs to make a decision of giving you business, not there is a pedestal there. So how do we work together then? Right? So my after this realization and practicing this, not taking rejection personally, I've learned that after that business came only by reference. And that was the win. That, hey, listen, now people are coming to you for your work. Not because they had an interaction with you and they judged you for something and then they moved on. Right? Because in a recruitment process or in an interview process, it's always a judgment. And I can be a great coach and may not know how to show up in sales conversation because I know the other person is judging me all the time, right? And that can unnerve me. And I think that's where a lot of coaches also struggle. Yeah, because it's not about, sales is not about your expertise at that point in time, in that conversation. It's about what the other person is looking for, what are their lenses, and can you strike a great conversation by being authentic, and can that conversation click? That person may be having a bad day and you happen to be there and then you get rejected. So again, also not underestimating those rejections, right? Don't take it personally, but also go back and learn from it. I've learned from every rejection, right? Go back, reflect and say, okay, what could have been different from my side? Because I can't control the other side. So these are some of the learnings and you still learn.
So from learning, let's take the discussion forward. And what are your top 3 learnings of your career? Means job and coaching and entrepreneurship. Means if someone asks top 3 learnings, so what would that be?
Top 3 learning. Okay, so it'll change if you ask me next 3 years. So the first learning is careers have to be enjoyed. We have to find alignment between what we do and who we are, versus just continue to do because there's a salary coming in, right? Because it's really it keeps us in jail forever. Yesterday only I was talking to somebody and said psychological jails are more tougher to break than the iron jails, right?
Yeah. So recently I also heard this sentence that career is not a problem. It is actually part of solution.
Yeah, that's profound.
A lot of time we think that career is a part of problem.
Yeah, no.
It has to be part of the problem.
Yeah,
it's
solution. Yeah, no, I totally feel that when with so much of hard work our parents are bringing us up in this world and they are investing in our education. What they want is that you enjoy your life, right? And a large part of enjoyment comes from what you do, how you earn, where do you live, your lifestyle and everything is connected. And that's what made me realize that listen, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then what's the point? Then I can be 20 and 30 and 40 and 60 and die with regrets. That's not me. I want to, whatever time I have, I want to enjoy that fully. Integration is important in our lives, right? If let's say you have a great career and your health is not good, what's the point? You're not enjoying. You need to be at peace with yourself. That's my first advice. Enjoy your careers. If you're not enjoying, do something about it. That's one. Second thing is, we think that if my career is fine, I'll be happy. We think if my health is fine, I'll be first find happiness. Then happiness will sort out things for you, right?
Wow.
Happiness comes from inside. It's about dropping your baggages. It's about working on your fears and beliefs and all that. We always think, oh, if I do this, if I get this job, I'll be happy. If I marry this person, I'll be happy. If I do, no, it doesn't work. It's a lot of internal job that you have to do. You are stuck in your own jail. You're not stuck because of external circumstances. So first find happiness and then allow happiness to sort out things. Things work out. And it took me a lot of time to realize that. It took me, in fact, going back to the rejection piece, if you are happy and in conversations you're doing conversations from that state, you make it to a lot of conversations. Because you're not attached to the outcome. You're just enjoying the conversation. Like we're enjoying the conversation. I'm really having fun. I'm not thinking about anything. So first find happiness and let happiness find its way to your world. And the third one is meet yourself. Have courage to make decisions. I like doing that. I like going to places where I feel intimidated. I like to take chances. I like to do experiments because somewhere I've learned that this is the time. When do you do it? Right? Rather than getting intimidated by any challenge or any opportunity, you say, oh, let me try. If you are not too much attached to the outcome, you will be able to try things.
Wow, that was profound. And I was also going into my mind. So where I go when I meet me, where I go. So I just came into my mind when I record podcast, I meet me. Yeah.
Meeting yourself.
Yeah. When I read a book, when I travel, when I do some tracking, no network, and then I started to meet myself. So that was super powerful.
That's very important. Some of the examples I can give you is when I was going to Ladakh. Whole lot of world came to scare me. Aisa hai wahan. You don't go. There is an oxygen issue. There is this. There is that.
And there was COVID time, if I remember.
And COVID time just after. And I okay. I don't over inform myself deliberately, because if I'm over informed, then anybody can get intimidated. So I like to go with a faith that fine, things will be fine. I like to think the other way. I like to think that there are people living there, right? And there are a lot of tourists every day there. So a lot of people go every day to Ladakh. So then why are you? So then I don't like to give in to the fears, right? Similarly, when I was going to Mexico, a lot of advice comes my way saying Mexico is like this, that, be careful. I'm like, okay. I don't let that come in.
The wall is still not built. Yeah.
So I don't. So I don't let those things come in. I prepare. If something is coming to me, I'll not ignore that advice. I'll prepare, but I'll also not allow that to intimidate me, because I've done that in past, and I know I only lose in that game. Right. So this is what I'm saying. Meet yourself. Have the courage. Make some tough choices, because that's when the energy supports you. That's when the happiness supports you, because life is waiting to be unleashed. Every moment it is trying to be unleashed through you, and if you block the energy, you block life. What's the fun? Then you're not a human. Then maybe you're a robot or something like that. So being a human, you have the advantage to take chances. Make some tough choices, do some adventure. It's fun. And nothing is as bad as it is there in our heads. So these are a couple of my advice.
Just like in our coaching, we always do coaching and direct our coaches towards action. Instead of analysis, thinking.
Too much thinking. I think overthinking is an epidemic. It is it just stops us to even enjoy what we have. Right? So overthinking is not helpful. It's not helpful at all. I think we spend our lives thinking and not taking some choices and making and the thought of fear is more dangerous than the fear itself.
Fear itself,
So that's what I'm saying. The psychological jails are more tougher to break than your iron jails.
So let me share here. There is one study. I don't know. It was about Oxford or something. So 95% of the thing which we fear
never happens.
Yes,
I agree with you.
And the balance 5%, if happens, are not as bad as we think.
Exactly. I like to say in my coaching conversations at times, saying, hey, listen, you'll not die. Just do it. Just try. Just do it. It's never as that bad.
Yes. So Jaya, let's take this discussion forward and let's discuss about entrepreneurship, because I interviewed a lot of entrepreneurs and they say it is a 24/7 job and they are not having time, and how you manage your time and how you are managing your health, how you are managing your family, then parenting, and then entrepreneurship also.
Again, it's not easy. But again, if you're passionate about something, first of all, the work doesn't feel like work. That is important. So even if I'm working 10 hours a week, 10 hours a day, it's not work for me. It energizes me. It leaves me more fulfilled, right? So then that load goes away. It's not a load, right? A lot of times I've been into trainings for 7-8 hours online, virtually, and I feel much more happy. So actually it's doing a reverse job. It's not draining me.
It is
that's exactly what I said, right? For your career, it has to fulfill you rather than drain you. If it is draining you, you will start feeling frustrated, you'll start feeling edgy on different points. So my work actually a lot of time fulfills me, right? So that's one. So then I don't mind whether it is 10 or 12. It doesn't matter. I don't look at the clock when I'm doing my work, right? When I can leave some person in my coaching conversation more fulfilled and with a new perspective and more energized, that energizes me, right? Second thing around, I have a lot of help around. A lot of people help me. My house is managed by someone who stays with us, and then I have team. My team is super. It's just they've just learned how to be more responsible about their this thing.
So delegating,
Oh yes, extremely. You can't do everything. You can't do. Two things that I'm not able to delegate and I can't delegate and nobody can delegate is health and parenting. I also tried thinking about how do I delegate my health, but I failed. So there I try to put my time. I'm still figuring out my health stuff because I'm so passionate about my work that I like to be on the desk most of the time, and that doesn't help me a lot of times. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I'm much better from last few years. Parenting is again, parenting changes phases. My child is in a teenage now, so there are new challenges. So trying to constantly think, and good thing is my partner also, we both are on the same page about parenting. We want the similar things from our child and this thing. So we keep collaborating. A lot of times when I was away for travel, he fills in when I'm not this thing. So we try to figure out time to be together, to have conversation, to give the right values to our son, and we try. Parenting is tough. Health is tough. Toughest pieces of life.
So every day they are a new human being. Kids are, means every day a new human being is created. So
true.
how you handle? That is
I
difficult.
learn. I think the good thing is that learning continues. It's not that you've figured it out. Nobody can figure it out all by themselves or ever in their life. So you keep learning. You keep seeing.
Is there any tool you use for time management? Means Google Calendar or something?
Yeah, I live by calendar. I made blunders when meetings were not on my calendar, and we just verbally agreed. So as I said, I was not a very organized person. I learned to be organized because if you're running a business, you need to be extremely organized. So calendar is my savior. Even if it is a catch up with a friend, I block my time on my calendar. Not because I'm rigid about time, but it's just that I don't want to miss those important conversations or meetings or outings and all that. So everything is on my calendar. My son's doctor appointment is on my calendar. Somebody's coming home is on my calendar. We are going somewhere is on my calendar. I live by calendar. Yeah, that's how I organize my time. Yes.
Wow. So how you get time to read books, listen podcasts, and means take content, means new content. So from where you means do you read book or listen podcasts or watch YouTubes, or from where you do your learnings? Means if you can share some of the things.
Yeah. So I have figured out a way to do that.
Wow.
So when I created my courses. So I realized that I can create courses. I come from L&D background. It's fairly easy for me to create a structure, run classes and all that. So number one, I cater to my need of sharing knowledge through my programs. Within that program, I've included books. So if I'm talking about the books, then I need to read them. So I need to have a timeline to read things, right? So when I included the books in the program, it enriches the participant, it enriches me, I learn new things, and I have to speak about those books. So I give a lot of challenge to myself. Otherwise, I have a lot of books and I've not read them. The only way I can learn is like this, right? I run 4 courses. Every course has around 3 books. So
I read 2 books.
You have read books, yeah. So first of all, it's important for a coach's journey, right? You can't go deeper without reading and reflecting and all that. So I give myself those challenges. To see, you tie it up with a timeline, tie it up with something, and then read. And apart from that, there are some books which are, they just attract you, or there is a reason you're reading them, or somebody introduced it. Then I also try to cover books through videos, because at times, you don't have time to go through. So, and that's also I recommend at times that it's okay. Yeah, I mean, you go to YouTube, almost every book has a summary these days. There are apps which cover the book audio. There's an app called Mentorbox. I have used that for a long time. The good thing about that app is it's a summary by the author itself. So you get the highlight. It's not anybody else's interpretation. So when I used to go for walks, I used to plug in and listen to those books. So I've done several experiments to podcast. At times, if I'm walking, I'll listen to the podcast and all that. So that's how I have been able to manage so far. And I'm learning. I'm sure tomorrow there'll be a new way, right? You go read the blogs, it gives you a summary. Go look at YouTube, it has a summary. Look at apps which are audible, you can walk and listen to the book. At times I like to sit and read and have my chai. So at times early morning, that's what I will do. Especially when I'm not traveling, I have space, I like to do that.
Okay.
I like that time with me.
So Jaya, we are almost at the end of our podcast. I'm having only 2 questions.
Okay.
So this question is we are sitting here and recording this podcast. So it is a miracle for me. Yeah, miracles.
Why do you say so?
Miracles do happen. It was 2 years back when I started coaching, learning coaching under you. I have never thought that I'll be having podcast and I'll be reaching 70 episodes, 75 episodes. So it's sort of some magic or miracles do happen.
Yeah, of course.
So I just wanted to ask that what will be your miracle to happen moment? 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line. I'm taking you to the future.
You're taking me to the future.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think miracle moment can keep changing. For now, I'm looking at writing more and speaking more. It'll be a miracle if I have at least one book out published.
Okay.
So I think that will be something, because again I'm going through my own journey about, hey, do I need to write? Is there something new I can say? So many people write every day.
Yes.
So I'm dealing with those author's block, as we call it. So it'll be a miracle to have again a very balanced life. I would like Abhyudaya to find its own identity. Which is not totally dependent on me. I would like to have more impact in the world. So the miracle would be that these things come true. Yeah,
thank you. So all the best for the book and for the Abhyudaya and all the things you have just shared.
Thank you.
And so we are at the end of our podcast, and this is my last question. So if there is any one advice, if you want to give to any coaches for coaching business, what will that be?
Take coaching. Coaches, after learning coaching, stop taking coaching. The problem is they don't believe in taking coaching. They hesitate to come for coaching sessions, and that's where the whole ball drops, right? If you're selling something, you need to totally believe in that. You will be able to believe in that when you see the proof of it in your own life. That's where my conviction comes from. I have seen my results coming from coaching. It has sorted out my life. So that's my only advice. If you're a coach, take coaching for yourself. Stay in coaching.
Super powerful.
You can't be selling scuba diving by standing outside the water, right? You have to be in the water. You have to go through that journey yourself. You have to sort out your own life. You have to up your game through coaching. And if you're able to do that, then you don't have to convince anybody. Your conversation, then there's no point of rejection. Then you're saying what you have lived, and people like you for that. Right? So that's my advice.
Wow, super powerful. I really need this advice.
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you, Jaya, for coming on the show. It was always a pleasure to talk to you and take out time from your busy schedule to be with you and understand you and understand your energies and vibes, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, Rakesh, and it's a pleasure to meet you, and it's great to see the first episode and 75th episode. A lot of hard work, and yeah, I mean we are as I say, we don't meet people. There's no coincidence in this life. When we're meeting somebody, there's a reason. It's our choice whether we learn from them or not. So I learn a lot from you. So thank you for the inspirations.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Let's Talk Clarity podcast. और अगर इस पॉडकास्ट को आप और आगे बढ़ाना चाहते हैं तो लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए और कमेंट सेक्शन में ज़रूर डालिए क्या आपको इस एपिसोड में अच्छा लगा, क्या आप इम्प्रूवमेंट चाहते हैं, या फिर वो भी डालिए अगर आपको कोई गेस्ट जिसको आप लेट्स टॉक क्लैरिटी पॉडकास्ट में लाना चाहते हैं तो उनका नाम और लिंक दे दीजिए. आई विल ट्राई टू मेक देम कम ऑन माई पॉडकास्ट. सो thank you for watching this episode.